Bonjour. Welcome to the newcomers and welcome back for the others. Harry Potter and the Passioneer Memoirs, Chapter 6, Confrontation. Harry laid the thing aside for nearly 2 weeks. He couldn't believe what he had just read. He never expected that from his father. But it wasn't the guy flying that bothered him. If his father wanted to experiment a bit first, it wasn't that big a deal, especially considering what horrors he had been put through. It was the guy. Why did it have to be serious? Oliver Wood had been ecstatic to learn that Harry had a firebolt, and was determined to make McGonagall give it back. It was during Quidditch practice one evening. Harry still using an old shooting star that Harry suddenly thought of something. The moment practice was done, Harry all but threw the old broom into its place, ignoring surprised glances from Oliver and Katy. He marched right past them and off the stadium in worldly ceasing. Harry didn't think he could hate Sirius more. No, he did. Harry marched through the castle, heading down to the trophy room. He had seen something there in his very first year being here. He had never known that thing existed until Hermione had pointed it out to him. You won't make a fool of yourself. It's in your blood. She had soon pointed out a trophy shield, gold, James Potter, emblazoned on it, Seeker. Believe me, Harry, you didn't tell me your dad was a Seeker too. I didn't know. Good Merlin, I really didn't know. Harry burst into the room and went to stare at that trophy. He suddenly hated it too. The reason it was there was because Sirius Black must have convinced his dad to continue by switching positions. The reason he had to switch positions was because being a chaser was too much work, and it hurt him. Harry glared at the damn thing, sitting pretty behind glass, the name of his father in full view of anyone who wanted to see. That trophy had been born out of pain and meant nothing but false love. Damn Sirius for tricking his father like that. And murder to Harry. He wanted to destroy it. He felt his magic bubbling up, almost the same way he had blown up Aunt Marge a few months ago. It's in your blood, it's in your blood. Harry knew he came from James Potter and Lily Evans. Now, he knew that James and Lily only found each other after a brutal rape. My blood, Hermione? His voice had come out altered, snarling, nearly evil. It didn't sound like him at all. He had never felt a rage like this. With a sudden burst, the glass cabinet shattered, and his father's prize went crashing to the floor. Mine? Only because my father bled for it first. The glass shards clattered to the ground around him, tinkling like bits of ice. His exploding magic caught on the edge of every single piece to make them appear as if they burned on fire. His scar suddenly seared, but then remained neutral. Rubbing the scar, he stooped to pick up the trophy, planning to hurl it into space. Harry! So startled was he by hearing someone call him. Harry slipped on the fiery glass pieces and fell over, grabbing a large chunk of glass instead of the trophy and giving himself a long, deep cut in the palm of his left hand. "Harry!" Lupin was over him in an instant. He pushed the trophy away with one foot, out of reach of Harry, to get close enough and pick the boy who lived out of the glass shards set on a false fire. "Come here!" He carried Harry, bridal style, across his arms out of the trophy room before setting the boy on his feet at the top of stairs. "Harry, what the bloody hell was that?" Lupin actually looked scared as he wrapped a strip of cloth, and he ripped from his robe around Harry's hand. "I hate him. I hate him so much." "Whoa." Harry sniffled. "Sirius Black." Lupin pushed Harry into a low stone, benched by the wall. Once the boy sat down, the wolf turned away and entered the trophy room. He spent a few moments repairing the glass. The fire magic had gone by now, disappearing as Harry's outburst came to a close. Lupin came back and sat beside Harry, not realizing what he was doing. He handed the trophy over. "James won that in our 6th year." "I know," Harry said. "Which was weird," Lupin went on. "He was actually a chaser. For some reason, he switched to being a seeker for the last 2 years of school." "2?" Harry stared at Lupin. "Sweet Merlin, did the affair go on for 2 years?" Harry was quite sure the title had said Passion Year, Single. "Yeah." Lupin seemed to stare off into the past for a bit. "Your dad was really weird during 6th year." Harry closed his eyes for a moment. Did Remus know? "How weird?" Harry dared to ask. "He stopped harassing Lily for one," Lupin snickered. Then he went very serious. "There was one time late into our 6th year. Last time Black Father came to Hogwarts, and, well, Jim went ballistic on him." Harry gritted his teeth, waiting. Had his father taken his revenge? Lupin seemed to notice Harry was watching him intently. "Senior Black had a bad habit of using Crucio as punishment," he explained. "If held on to the victim long enough, it can cause insanity from the pain, even death. It's a banned spell, but he didn't care." "You think Orion Black used that spell on my dad?" Lupin took a long time in replying. "Perhaps. There was something odd about Jim ever since we started 6th year. Oh, well." He sighed, with an air of changing the subject. "He liked getting this, though." Lupin took the trophy back. Harry blinked. His father liked that thing? "I better go put it back." He did so, as Harry sat still, thinking about all the different ways he could hurt Sirius if he ever met that monster face to face. "I'll kill you, Black," Harry muttered to himself, waiting. "Harry!" Lupin was suddenly standing in front of him, looking somber. "You're not the only one against Sirius Black. We all are." "Do you hate him?" Lupin was taken aback by that. "I don't know what to feel, actually." It reminded Harry so much of James, who had felt the same way once. "He hurt you." Lupin closed his eyes. It was so low, Harry barely heard it. "Very much so," More than you'll ever know. Harry inwardly groaned. It was the other way around. He was the one who knew more. Harry stood up. He'll pay for what he's done. He left Lupin behind without another word. As soon as he was out of sight, he pulled out the map and turned it on. "Protect your werewolf," Harry whispered to him. "Don't worry, Dad. I take care of him for you." He assumed that, along with the cloak and gold, he probably inherited the pet Fleabag as well, so he might as well take up the marauder's vow. He, at least, won't screw it up like Sirius Black did. Harry looked for the spot labeled Sirius Black. He wandered aimlessly through the castle until, suddenly, he noticed it. Down by the lake, on the far side where the Quidditch pitch was. Harry turned tail and ran for it. He was going to get rid of that man once and for all. He dashed outside, not bothering with the invisibility cloak. The Dementor could see through it. They drifted around the borders of Hogwarts and didn't affect Harry too much as he sprinted across the grounds. As he approached the pitch, Harry went right, away from the lake, instead of left and towards it. He went around behind the pitch and then dashed off into the edge of the forest. Here, the Dementors were closer and felt a chill. Think happy. Harry remembered the relief he felt when Lupin had said Orion Black was dead, and clung on to that. It seemed to work. Harry dashed through the trees, heading for the lake. He knew what to look for. The Black Lake stretched for miles away from Hogwarts, and part of it went into the forest. Harry headed there, checking the map occasionally to make sure Sirius was ahead of him. He had probably gone for a drink. Harry burst out onto the shore of the lake, screaming "Stupefy" and a few other spells, sending them off in rapid succession in various directions. He glared around, but didn't see Sirius Black, either as human or grim form. "Black!" Harry reeled around, looking every which way at once almost. "Come out! Here I am! Come out! I kill you! You hear me? I bloody..." Harry had been knocked to the ground, hard from somewhere behind. He fell flat on his mouth and felt a pressure on his back. Harry spat out a mouthful of snow. "Yeah, no," he heard the man's voice chuckle. "If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead by now. Too easy. Just way too easy." The pressure disappeared. Harry spluttered and turned over onto his back. Sirius was staring down at him with a soft smile, and Harry wondered darkly if Sirius had stared down at his father like that. "What the hell are you doing, boy?" If Harry had a galleon for every marauder who asked him about hell today. Harry stood up clumsily, slipping out stones and rotten icy leaves. He held his hand out. Oh. Harry's ankle slipped sideways, making him cross his heels and do a pirouette on his way back down to the ground. He hated this. He hated this whole mess. This was not how it was supposed to happen. He hated Sirius. He hated. Period. You okay? Sirius asked, pulling Harry up. Now, Harry hated the fact that he knew that voice James had heard when asked that exact same question in exactly the same way. Concerned, almost as if he cared. "I'm fine, Black," Harry snarled, taking a step. He promptly sank into an unseen hole under the snow, right up to his knee. He winced as snow poured into his shoe, making his foot wet and freezing. Sirius just looked down on him, a bemused expression on his face. "Oh, for Merlin's sake, today!" Harry tried to wrench himself free. He stared up at Sirius, thinking this might be the end of him. He was in a perfect position for Sirius to strike him down. Instead, he saw Sirius' lips twitch into a smile. Those same lips that had taken care of his... "Oh, good Merlin, don't think of that. Especially not at this moment. This isn't how I planned this," Harry said, stupidly, still tugging at his stuck leg. He glared up at Sirius, who was still smiling at him. What a screwed-up way to die. Harry suddenly burst out laughing, putting his face down to the ground, roaring with laughter. "Yet they called me demented," Sirius snorted. Harry only laughed harder. Fact was, Sirius was right. He stood there like the bloody idiot James made him out to be, all calm and normal. Yet here, Harry half sat on and half stood in the ground, stuck in a hole, waiting his murder, laughing his arse off at the sheer stupidity of it all. "Yeah, you look fine," Sirius finally laughed right along with Harry. "Oh, shut up," Harry snarled at last. Suddenly his foot came free, but his boot belonged to whatever animal lived in that hole. Damn it. "What on earth are you doing, little one?" Harry glared at Sirius. "I've come to kill you." "Really?" Sirius scoffed. "How embarrassing!" He burst out laughing, almost as hard as Harry a moment before. "You're past this excuse of a murderer, then, Harry." "You won't talk!" Harry screamed at him. "Oh, just die already." He held up his wand and aimed for Sirius, who neatly stepped aside. The tree trunk behind him exploded. "Defendo, are you kidding me?" Sirius teased. "Come on, Harry. Surely you can do better than that. I don't even have a wand." He held up his wand, his hands, and wiggled his fingers in a "come get me" way. Harry raised his wand again. Sirius tackled him Muggle style, and next thing Harry knew, he was face first on the ground again, eyes watering with both his arms pinned painfully behind his back. "Learned that from Cop TV with Remus. Oh, and looky here. Now I have a wand." He stood up and let Harry go. "Give it back!" "Or what? You will kill me?" Sirius smirked at him. "As you shoe." Harry's lost boot zoomed out of the hole into Sirius' waiting hand. Harry dropped his head, chin to chest, and charged like a stock. Sirius stepped aside, having spent many years with an actual stock. Harry crashed headlong into the blasted tree trunk. Harry wheeled around, glaring and massaging his head. His shoe fell beside him. Harry glared at him. Then jammed his foot back in. Then he glared at Sirius. "What you want, my sweet?" Sirius promptly shoved the thing down his prison-striped trousers. "Come get it?" Harry gaped at him. Sirius spread his hands, laughing. "I hate you. I won't stop trying to kill you for as long as I live." "Everybody needs a hobby," Sirius muttered in a bored voice. "Hobby?" Harry stared incredulously at him. "Well, what did you expect, Harry?" Sirius snickered at him. "Thinking to come charging in here to attack me? I heard you running a mile away. I'm a trained ower, Harry. I was one of Dumbledore's best until I got into this mess. You think to overpower me? Look how much you failed, and I don't even have a wand. No offense, little one, but you're bloody pathetic. You're too noisy on the charge, you're too sloppy. This is what school's for. You're lucky you're not my target, or you will be dead by now." Sirius shook his hips, and the phoenix one slipped down his right leg to sit on the toe of his worn-out boot. "Here, take the damn thing. Bloody useless to you right now, anyway." He kicked it into the air towards Harry, who cocked it. Harry was about to ask who the target was, then thought with a horrific jolt. Remus. Remus was the target. Was Sirius taking out all his lovers? Protect your werewolf. Dumbledore Pestor? You? The right-hand Death Eater of Voldemort? How dare you? "I am no Death Eater," Sirius hissed in a low, dangerous voice. "How dare you come down here looking for me when you don't even know the whole story? You could have been killed. You're lucky I'm here to protect you, not harm you." "I don't need protection," Harry glared, arms crossed. "Least of all from you." Sirius looked Harry over before saying softly, "You look so much like your father." "False love, false love. Don't you dare talk about my father." Harry, Sirius began, but it was suddenly wiped out as Lupin appeared out of nowhere and slammed into Sirius. Both went sprawling on the ground. "Harry, run! Run now! Go, get Dumbledore!" Harry fled for the castle as Remus struggled with Sirius on the ground. "Now you die!" "Wait, move!" Remus punched him. "You don't get to call me Moony." "You don't understand," Sirius tried again. "You ripped my heart out of my chest," Remus got in. "I understand quite enough. Thank you very much. I should have known since that wasn't the first time you did that to me. Was it Black? Oh no. 5th year trying to feed me Snape. That should have been a warning flag." "Remus, I am so sorry for that." "I don't care!" Remus growled and bit Sirius in the throat. Moony and Padfoot were in battle once more. Padfoot pulled free, but now without ripping his flesh away from Moony's flanks. He ran. "Coward!" Remus took off after him. "You coward! Get back here!" He stopped as he saw the ray of light take off. Any horror can ride the light into or out of a situation. Remus had no license to be an horror, and he couldn't keep up. The ray of light was gone in a blink. Remus dropped to his knees, crying, "Coward!" he whispered to himself. He had missed. How the hell did he miss? Dumbledore had sent several people in the direction Lupin pointed them in, but Sirius was not to be found. Lupin took care of the next Dark Arts defensive lesson, not looking at Harry once. As the classroom got up to leave at the end of the lesson, he finally seemed to notice that Harry was there. "Remain behind, Potter," Lupin all but snarled. Potter, not Harry. Lupin was the only professor the student had who had used their first names. Harry gulped and stayed at his desk, wondering if he was still a puppy. Ron and Hermione tried to linger, but Lupin tossed them out. Lupin came to stand in front of Harry, glaring down at him, arms folded. "I have lost James. I have lost Lily. I have lost Peter. And yes, I have lost even Sirius. I will not lose you. How stupid can you be? How stupid!" Jim had his dumb moments, but he would never have done something that incredibly stupid. "What is wrong with you?" he huffed, pushing a hand through his graying hair. "Merde!" Merde? French for shit. And don't interrupt when I'm yelling at you. Sorry. Harry stared at the floor. Désolé, Lupin said. That's French for sorry. Harry nodded mutely. You idiot. Harry jumped as Lupin turned and kicked over the nearest desk. What is wrong with you? I had a feeling you would go around looking for Black, so I followed you. I didn't think you would find him, but just in case, I followed you. You're lucky I did now. He sighed and seemed to calm down a little. He stood in front of Harry again, but this time he put his hand on the top of Harry's desk and leaned toward him. He was so close that for the first time Harry could see the longer, more canine-style pointed teeth whenever Lupin spoke. Do you know how many points Gryffindor has? Harry thought back to the last time he bothered to glance at the hourglass, either by the main doors or the smaller ones behind the high table of the Great Hall. 148? You are at 345 and in the lead, Lupin said. Or at least you were, for your incredible stupid lack of judgment and narrowly getting yourself killed. No, don't! Harry suddenly realized with horror what Lupin was about to do. 345 points from Gryffindor. No! Harry stood up. Please! I'll do anything. Dungeon, expulsion, anything. Don't hurt our whole house. Shut up, or I'll put you in the minuses, Lupin retorted. Now get out! Do something like that again. I'll off your miserly hide myself and save both Black and Voldemort's trouble. Understand? Now get! Another 50 points from Gryffindor for taking too long. Leave! He turned away, thought Harry could have sworn that he saw tears in Lupin's eyes. He had scared the wolf. Protect your werewolf, idiot. Do that, but next time, don't let the wolf know. James had the right idea, it seemed, in not telling Remus things. Harry turned and had the door half open. Minus 50 points. How would they ever catch it? Oh, and Harry? I think I did you wrong when we started patronage lessons. It all went to your head. You think you can go running off, waving some spell you only half learned? Don't bother coming back in the evenings. I'm not providing you with more lesson on that one. But sir, the game! Out! Lupin pointed at the door. Or I'll find some way of benching your arse permanently from Quidditch too, in case you plan to go flying after black on your broom. Maybe I'll snap that blasted firebolt in two. That should do the trick if you don't leave this instant. Harry left quickly. The moment the door closed, Remus dropped into his seat behind the teacher's desk and plunged forward over its surface, burying his face in his arms. An ink bottle went crashing to the floor, and a quill poked into the back of his side. Without raising his face, he flicked it aside. Serious God, why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? Why do you hate me so? It took nearly an hour for the sobs to subside. Not even chocolate helped. The next morning, there was a fervent chatter as nearly the entire Gryffindor house had gathered around the larger house class by the main door. Harry! Neville came running up to him. Look! Gryffindor is minus 50 points. Harry stared gloomily at him. What bastard is responsible for that? What did they do? I killed them. Harry wisely kept his mouth shut, as his entire house bemoaned their frustration. Gotta be a mistake. Maybe the thing jammed. Whoever said that promptly kicked the hourglass only to end up hopping on the spot. It is no mistake. Dumbledore's voice suddenly boomed over their heads. No, off to breakfast. Harry was grateful that Dumbledore didn't offer more explanation. But then the old wizard glared at him for a few moments. Damn it, he knew. Well, of course he must have. Lupin must have discussed the deduction with them. Probably McGonagall too, judging by the way she glared at Harry as she passed, before actually doing it. Harry skipped breakfast.